Hi, I'm Annabel with Journey for Earth, and I'm honored to be here today with Dr. Wallace J. Nichols, the scientist, activist, author, and father. Hi, Dr. J. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Ann.
I know that you have for decades now studied sea turtle biology and marine conservation. And in the mid-1990s, I believe, you were the first person to track a loggerhead sea turtle all the way from Baja, Mexico to Japan. That must have been a truly amazing experience. And how long did it take?
Well, yeah, you're right. Our team put a transmitter on the loggerhead turtle, put her back into the ocean, and followed her through her signals for 368 days. She swam 12,000 kilometers in just over a year, and we just watched her every stroke of the way and shared her journey with as many people as possible through the internet, which was also a new kind of a new thing back then.
Right.
And just really learned a lot about turtles and about communicating through that kind of network.
I never thought it would take so long, actually. It's amazing that they survived such an epic journey, although I guess a lot of them don't, right?
Right. It's a very long trip for the turtles to make it home, and there are all kinds of hazards that they face along the way, from fishing gear to predators, obviously, to increasingly now plastic in the ocean. So she's a lucky turtle. She made it across the ocean, and that's what we strive for, making the ocean safe.
Absolutely. And share with us, if you can, please, how you became so passionate about oceans and turtles. Like, what's your journey?
Well, as a kid, I think I was like a lot of kids my age. Jacques Cousteau was one of my heroes, and I looked forward to seeing what he was doing around the world and dreamed of joining his team and being on an expedition. And kind of an interest in sea turtles and turtles in general as a kid. We used to catch turtles in the Chesapeake Bay and paint little numbers on their shells and then so track them that way. And then when I learned that I could do that legitimately as a career, then that's what I wanted to do.
That's all it took, right?
That's all it took. And there we go, track the turtle across the ocean.
I know that, or I read actually, that one of your life goals is to release 1 billion baby sea turtles into the ocean. So how are you planning on doing that, and why so many?
Well, yeah, a few years ago, my good friend and colleague Fabien Cousteau, who's actually the grandson of my childhood hero, we sort of made a pledge to each other that we would strive to put 1 billion baby turtles in the ocean through all means legally possible and feasible. And we do it through a lot of collaborations, a lot of creativity, and really efforts all over the world that we support, from El Salvador to Indonesia to Africa. And the thing is, you need to put a lot of baby turtles into the ocean to get a few adults, because the odds are really so steep against them. So it's a 1 in 1,000 situation for these animals to survive.
I know that you have another wonderful project that I got very excited by, your Blue Marbles project. And I just love the idea of this little blue marble circulating the globe. Can you share with people a little more about the inspiration behind that?
Well, the first photograph ever taken of Earth by NASA astronauts was called the Blue Marble. And it's the most reproduced photograph ever. Of all photographs ever taken, that's the one that's been reproduced the most. And I think that has something to do with the fact that we really do love our planet. We started sharing these blue marbles just as simple gifts of gratitude with people. And if you get a blue marble, your job is to share it and say thank you to somebody for what they're doing, and pass it on and tell the story of why you shared it. And it's as really simple as that. And it's just really caught on. And there are 1 million blue marbles passing between people,
Cool.
doing their thing. And
You have a new way of moving people to action. Like normally, a lot of the time, you give people the facts about, well, these animals are becoming extinct and this is how bad plastic pollution is. And a lot of the time, I've been frustrated at that. It doesn't inspire people to action. Whereas you are actually studying why people love the ocean so much, what actually goes on in the brain. Isn't that correct? You're calling it the Blue Mind Project?
Right, correct.
Can you talk a little about that?
Information alone doesn't necessarily change people's behavior. People change for emotional reasons, and people change because of their relationships with nature and with each other. And we just need to understand that better and use that understanding to create a stronger movement for taking better care of our planet. So there's no guarantee that people falling in love with the ocean translates into taking better care of it. But I think it works a lot better than just scaring the heck out of people with bad news.
What are practical things that the average person could do? Could you name like 3 things? How can we support the ocean? What would you say?
I've stopped answering that question, and my answer is, what do you think? And the answers I've gotten from people, when they stop and think about what are the 3 things they can do, are brilliant. They're better than anything I could say, and they're personally generated.
So I know you have 2 young daughters. How do you get them involved with what you do, and how do you feel parents in general can get their kids involved in these big issues?
Well, we do all kinds of things. They get to travel and put transmitters on turtles and do things most kids don't get to do because their dad's a marine biologist. But we also do, beach cleanups and wonderful hikes and swims, and we go and see ocean movies and go to museums and spend time as often as possible near tide pools. Be careful that kids don't get too overwhelmed with bad news. I get a bit sad seeing so many kids having their first real ocean experience be cleaning up trash. I think that might be doing some more damage than good in the long term.
Who or what inspires you the most?
I am inspired all day, every day, by so many people. Everywhere you look, there are people knocking themselves out to help other people, to help nature, to do the right thing. I've been inspired today by my niece and by my friend Barbara and by the people working here at this museum, the California Academy of Sciences. I'm inspired by some baby ostriches that I just saw.
Wonderful.
Just kind of a constant flow of beauty and inspiration. And if you just pay attention and look for it, and have a pocket full of blue marbles to give away, it's everywhere. Yeah.
It truly is. Thank you so much, Dr. J, for taking the time to talk with me today. And for those of you who'd like to know more about Dr. J and his wonderful work, and to support his wonderful work, please go to wallacejnichols.org.